Hello everybody, how are you doing? Today is the 1st of October 2019. My name is Amanda. Welcome to my channel if you've just stumbled upon it, and if you're an old regular, welcome back. What we're going to be doing in this video is we're going to be doing a walkthrough of the overall feelings and energy for October, the coming month. But, you know, before we can even do that, we need to actually take a few steps back to August. And I was reminded yesterday of some words that came through in a video that I did on August the 24th. I'll be very precise, when I did the second channeling of Elvis Presley. I know it's a bit random, but, you know, everything is connected in my world. Effectively, the main energy is always Archangel Metatron. So it doesn't really matter who I'm looking at or what subject I'm looking at or who I'm channeling. Metatron is sort of the grand orchestrator, as we call him, who weaves the whole pattern together. So in the August the 24th video, Elvis was talking about the fact that September was going to be a huge month. There were going to be a lot of revelations, which there have been in the collective and in the personal. It was going to be rocky. And by the time we got to October, we were all going to need to sort of catch our breath a little bit. And so therefore the 1010 portal was going to be very, very important this year, the 10th of October. 1010 is a portal that we always celebrate on this channel anyway. But he was saying this year it's even more important. He gave two colours, one was blue and the other was silver, linking into a galactic type energy, and to help recharge our light bodies. So that is going to be something that's ongoing through October, the need to recalibrate and recharge our light bodies with the colours of blue and the colours of silver. In addition to that, in that August the 24th video, we also talked about the fact that we were going to have to dive into the underworld. We were going to have to start exploring the underworld. What does that mean? It means diving into the subconscious. It means diving into the shadow, both personally and collectively. He also talked about land masses arising from the sea, and he pointed towards Hawaii, that area of the world anyway, and indeed there has been land masses that have been rising in that area. So it's all quite exciting. I want to read you just a couple of lines from the Astrology Diary, which just sum up October's energy, and then we're going to get into the guidance that I have for you. So this is from the Astro Moon Diary. And it says here, with regard to October, Pluto, the lord of the underworld, turns direct, whilst within the month's first week, Mercury the messenger and Venus the planet of love enter his scorpionic realm to amplify his influence. Life becomes serious, dig deep, declutter, and check the drains. I love that, check the drains. It says, a time is approaching when a new infrastructure is to manifest, and serious consideration must now be given to its future nature and authority. Duty must be done and rules must be obeyed. It talks about like a pressure cooker type energy around the end of the month on the 28th. We'll talk about that probably in another video. But it just paints this picture of a month whereby it just feels very, very deep, very, very deep. And I'm wondering what that does to your energy field. Do you sort of go into like, ooh, or do you think, ooh, okay, we're going to dive deep. I wonder what we're going to find. I hope that you go towards the latter energy. What I want to bring up now is 3 oracle cards that I have shown in a number of videos recently, and they all feel very, very linked, very linked. This card I showed you on August the 24th. This was the card that Elvis was talking about in terms of the 1010 portal. And it talks about a door to personal healing and happiness. Okay, we've got a rainbow the other side of it, and it all looks rather lovely. In the video that I did channeling Dolores Cannon last week, we got this card, okay? Sort of like a different interpretation, a lot more darkness around the entrance to that new world. We talked about the fact that what is through here represents New Earth, and some of us may already be there, but a lot of us are sort of floating a bit in the doorway here. We've taken steps into the new world, but yet we haven't completely and fully left this area. And indeed, a lot of humanity and a lot of the collective are still here. And then yesterday on my Facebook page, I pulled another card, and this is from the Metatron deck. And so I'm just checking it's recording. Yes, it is. And this is the Metatron interpretation. This is the Sunrise New Dawn, and it's card number 10. Can you see here, we've got 3 different interpretations of this sort of portal energy, this gateway, and they all are leading us to this unknown land, this new realm. I sort of want to say, and I suppose I would say, because it's my card, I quite like the Metatron depiction. And I'll tell you why. Because I like the focus on the light. There is a respect to the fact that there is this darkness around, that, you know, we've had to wade through that to get to this. But the focus is on here, the new dawn. Now, at this point, I want to bring in a piece of paper that's been sitting on my desk probably for 6 months. I found it's linked into Plato, actually. So we are going deep here. Oh, in God, we're going really deep. It's been sitting on my desk for 6 months because I always knew there'd be a day when I'd want to talk about it. I wasn't sure in what video. And then last night, one of you, I think on YouTube, referred to, why don't you talk about the Plato cave analogy? And I thought, yes, bingo, this is the month. This is the month we're meant to bring this information in again. Even if you know it, let's remember it, re-remember it together. So I'm going to read you just this paragraph because it's so perfect in terms of where we are right now and where you may be also. And I'm going to put up, this picture actually because it's got more darkness in that, okay, around the new dawn energy. So it says Plato has Socrates describe a group of people who lived chained to the wall of a cave all of their lives, facing a blank wall. So a group of people who lived chained to a wall of a cave all of their lives, facing a blank wall. Imagine that. And the people watched shadows projected on the wall from objects passing in front of a fire behind them, and they gave names to these shadows. Those shadows are the prisoner's reality. Socrates explains how the philosopher is like a prisoner who is freed from the cave and comes to understand that the shadows on the wall are not reality at all, for he can perceive the true form of reality rather than the manufactured one, that is, the shadows seen by the prisoners. The inmates of this place do not even desire to leave their prison, for they know no better life. The prisoners manage, though, to break their bonds one day and discover that their reality was not what they thought it was. They discovered the sun, which Plato uses as an analogy for the fire that man cannot see behind. Like the fire that casts light on the walls of the cave, the human condition is forever bound to the impressions that are received through the senses. Even if these interpretations are an absurd misrepresentation of reality, we cannot somehow break free from the bonds of our human condition. We cannot free ourselves from phenomenal state, just as the prisoners could not free themselves from their chains. If, however, we were to miraculously escape our bondage, we would find a world that we could not understand. The sun is incomprehensible for someone who has never seen it. In other words, we would encounter another realm, a place incomprehensible, because theoretically it is the source of a higher reality than the one we have always known. It is the realm of pure form, pure fact. So that's the bit, and it's pretty deep, because what it's basically saying is that we all have within us either the memory of being these prisoners, basically chained to the walls of the cave, only looking at the darkness, our lives just being almost entertained by the shadows on the wall, not realizing that out of all of this darkness is this beautiful light. And if we can only step through it, who would want to go back to this? Fear keeps us here. Fear keeps us here. Our unresolved wounding keeps us here. Our pain can keep us here. But here is not going to help us to heal. What's going to help us to heal is to step into this new energy that's coming in. And I feel as though this year, more than ever, we're being offered the chance to break free from those chains that bind us, step into the light, and fully explore who we really are, where we need to be going in our individual lives and as a collective. But, this is a deep, deep process. Does it make sense now, having read that to you, that we're going to need these 7 days of integration either side of 1010? It isn't just about 1010. It's not just about that day. We can mark it, and I would encourage you to do that, whether you gather with like-minded people, whether we gather online. I may very well do a live actually on 1010 so we can gather online, although you're all dotted all over the world, so I'm not going to be able to speak to everybody live at the same time. But we'll do something. But it is also about before and after. And more than anything, it's about becoming conscious of that which binds us, what our individual chains actually are. What are you chained to? Are you chained to a behaviour, a pattern, a person, a job, a mindset that does not serve you? We say this all the time with Metatron, and we will keep saying it because there are so many layers of these chains that can bind us. It's a bit like the work with Archangel Michael. We can cut cords which are dysfunctional, which maybe bind us to a toxic relationship. I don't mean just a love relationship. It can be a toxic pattern within a parental relationship. You don't necessarily cut the parent away, as it were, but you can cut the toxic cords within that relationship. But it's very easy for them to come back if you then go back into the old behaviour that has created them. One of my friends on Facebook yesterday posted something. It's so very true, which is linked into victimhood. And it's linked into the fact that, victimhood has so many different layers. I'm not going to talk about it hugely in this video. But so often we can become victims by overgiving as well. And then we become resentful. And so it's like you can cut the cord to the person that's taking too much from you and feel temporarily better. The chains are gone. But then if you go back into that old pattern within you, which is about overgiving and not being able to say no or put yourself first, then those energetic chains and cords are going to come back. So I feel as though the 7 days before 1010 is very much about, okay, look at your patterns, look at what is not right around you at the moment. And it's going to be individual for everybody. What is it that needs to change? Maybe journal, your thoughts, put some ideas down onto paper. And, you probably know anyway, but it's one thing knowing and it's another thing doing something to be free of the binds. Now, you might say, well, how do I do that? That's the whole point of the 1010 energy, which is that spirit is coming in to try to help you, to release you from those those chains. Oh, who's the Old Testament figure that was released from his chains? There's an Old Testament character. Feels important. Old Testament. Just going to see if I can find it. Was it Joseph? Hold on, I'm just going to pause my camera. Yes, it's Joseph that I'm thinking of, and it's actually quite interesting because the story of Joseph is that he was betrayed by his brothers and thrown into prison, put into chains. And then the story goes, of course, that he's effectively released from prison because he has visions of the future. He's able to foresee the plagues that were going to strike Egypt, and because he was able to pre-warn, they were able to circumnavigate, the worst of any disaster that would have befallen them. And then his reward, excuse me, was the coat of many colours. Just to lighten it up a bit, I've just got Jason Donovan in my head now because I saw him live as Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I love that musical. And yeah, that scene at the end where he's wearing his coat of many colours. He's basically wearing this, but he's only wearing the rainbow after having been let go of his chains. Who helps him to let go of his chains? God. But equally, also, it's himself that frees himself from his bondage because he's able to voice and articulate the visions that are given to him from God, the God-given gift of prophecy. So that's very interesting that Joseph is coming through. Okay, I think where we'll go now with this is I'm going to ask, what is it that we're being asked to let go of? Or what is it that we know? What is it that we need help with, please, Metatron, in the run-up to the 1010 portal? What is it that we need help with? What is it that we need to be focusing on? Okay, let's go to the Metatron deck. Right, so what needs attention? What needs work? Almost what's imprisoning us, I want to say. That one. Oh, isn't that interesting? The chakra light body. The fact that we haven't fully stepped into it, basically. That's what it is. We are trying to do 5D. This all so beautifully flows on from all the other videos I've made recently. I love how it all flows, which is no working on my part. It's just spirit, the way it works. Because I was talking about the light body in my last video with Dolores Cannon. We're finding it hard to hold the 5D and to behave in 5D ways and to just hold that energy, because it's like our bodies haven't caught up. Our bodies yet haven't fully stepped into the rainbow. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful card? So beautiful. Here we have the chakras of the body lit up by white light. Okay, lit up by white light. But also the rainbow sort of flowing around as well. It's 38, 8, 9, 10, 11, card number 11. What do you want to say about this, Metatron? The body's struggling to catch up. That's why we need the pause. That's why we need the integration before the 10th. Okay. What can we do to help this process? Be kind to your body. Give your body the time it needs. Give your body the rest it needs. Give your body the exercise it needs. It's going to be different for everybody. Listen to your body, get in tune with your body. Love your body. Stop running away from your body. Think about those people chained to the walls of that cave. They couldn't escape from anywhere. They couldn't escape from the cave, but it's like, I feel really claustrophobic in that cave all of a sudden. It feels really claustrophobic. But yeah, actually there's beauty in there, because the fact that they were chained and captive, in many ways, although their life was dull, they had to be present with their body because they couldn't go anywhere else. Because the thing is, the dark serves the light and the light serves the dark. It's all one sacred circle. It's almost like we've got something to learn. When we leave the cave, this is what he's trying to say, when we leave the cave, we take the lessons that we've learned from being in this place. From having to sit in the darkness, we actually had to learn to sit and be still within the void, to sit and be still just on our own, to sit and be still and accept ourselves, accept our bodies, get to know that, and then we step into the light. There's something coming through about, I'm going to have to ask Metatron about this. It's like a question that's come up in my head here, which is that I know there's a lot of teaching out there that almost talks about stepping into the light body as sort of like, literally it's the snake that sheds its skin, the old body's gone, we've got this shiny new vehicle, we can go and play in that. Lovely jubbly. But that's a reference to Del Boy for those of you in the UK. But the point is that you can't cheat. You can't escape what your body's gone through, and nor should we try to. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? There's this nature that we have within us, which is just that we want to just skip into that. We want to skip into that with a shiny new body, with nothing wrong, with a lovely new mindset. We're all in 5D. Everything's happy in our world. Well, yes, that sounds lovely. But equally, life is the rainbow. Life's, again, I talked about this in my last video. It's made up of the sunshine and the rain. You have to take both parts of yourself into the new. You take some of the cave with you. You take the best bits of the cave energy. The bits where you've learned, the bits where you've integrated, the bits where you've learned to be still. There is beauty in both the darkness and the light, seems to be the message. Okay. I would like just now to pull a card on the 1010 portal itself, Metatron, from your own deck. Show me a energy for the actual 1010 portal itself. Archangel Sandalphon. Okay, that's interesting. So Sandalphon's coming through. With you now. Sandalphon is Sandalphon, Metatron's twin energy. Is all linked into landing. He's the archangel that governs the Earth Star chakra underneath our feet, also rules the base chakra as well. So it's all about bringing something to earth. It's about landing. It's about grounding. I think what they're saying here together, Metatron and Sandalphon, is that this new dawn energy lands around 1010, okay? And I'm talking here in your world, in my world, and in the collective. It literally is, it's rooted. It's rooted. It becomes more real. I feel it's all preparation for next year. It's the 2020 energy. And Sandalphon is saying, I am with you now. So Sandalphon feels as though he's going to be very present through this month of October as well. Let's bring his energy in. Hold on, let me just grab my spray. Sort of feels quite Sandalphon-y. It's my little heart. Those of you that have done the colours with me. So Sandalphon is bronze and links to the Earth Star chakra, as I've said. Let's just see if we have a message from Sandalphon here. Yeah, Sandalphon's reminding us that he's very in tune with helping us with our bodies and our relationship with our bodies. and to have respect for our bodies, to be gentle with our bodies, to take a moment to think what we put our body through in any one day, in terms of how we treat it, how we talk to it, whether we respect it, whether we even notice it. There's a thing about the honouring of the body, blessing the body. I've got this wonderful little book. I get like, it's a subscription box package where you get a whole load of nice sort of goodies each month. It's my little treat for myself every month. And this month, there's a book that came with it called Sacred Self-Care. And I'm just opening it up every day and just reading a little passage. And the one that I got last night was actually very Sandalphon. It was talking about, I don't know if I can find it, it was talking about feet. And it was talking about how just get some sacred oil, doesn't have to be sacred oil, just get some essential oil, although maybe I shouldn't say that because you're not supposed to put it neat onto your skin. I don't know, get some almond oil, whatever it is you want to do, but basically get a moisturiser. It doesn't matter. It's not about what you put on, it's about the fact that you're putting the cream into your feet. And by doing that, you're actually massaging your own feet, okay? And by massaging the soles of your own feet with an oil, for example, or a cream, you are actually able to, of course, get in touch with your whole body, because there's a map of all of the meridians on your feet, on the soles of your feet. But just do it in a very loving way. Feet tend to be something that are very neglected by a lot of people, unless it's summer and maybe women paint their toenails. But apart from that, not a lot happens with feet. But he's talking about feet, and which doesn't surprise me because Sandalphon's all about the feet chakra. He's saying use them as a way to show your body that you love it. So it literally is about just spending 5 minutes a day, if you can, just massaging your feet, creaming your feet, soaking your feet in a beautiful salt bath, something like that can be very relaxing. So that's coming through. And the point about it is it's not just like, oh yes, well that sounds a nice thing to do. What you're actually doing when you're doing that and you're concentrating on your feet chakras is you are grounding that. You're helping to ground the new light body that is emerging, okay, that is growing within you, that is sort of, as it shows here, is filtering down. It needs to be grounded. It needs to be properly grounded at the feet, okay? All right, let's pull a couple of tarot cards for this month of October. Moving on now, might be a completely different theme. I'd just like to have a look at see what the tarot says for this month. What am I using? The Fountain Tarot. Okay, so let's just take a nice deep breath in. Archangel Metatron. Let's just have a look at the energies, please, then, for October. We've got the Four of Wands. What else have we got? October's energies. The Page of Wands. October's energies. The Nine of Coins. October energies. Ooh. The Fool. The Queen of Cups. Let's have 7. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have 2 more cards. October. Judgment. And 1 more. And the Hanged Man. Okay. It's funny, I was just thinking, I've got the Hierophant on the bottom of the card, on the bottom of the pack as well. That's the card of the teacher. I'm going to take that one. That's 8. Maybe I should take 10 as it's the 10th month. Yeah, go on, let's carry on. 2 more. What I might do is just change my camera position and put it down onto the cards so you can see how I'm going to interpret them. Let me just get the last two cards and I'm going to change the camera position. 2 more cards for October. The sun. Can you see the sun's just coming out as I said the sun? It's actually raining though. There must be a rainbow out there somewhere. Last card for October, the sun, I love that. 9 of Swords, okay. Right, I'm going to just pause my camera and then I'm going to put it so you can see what I'm looking at and we'll discuss it together. Hold on. I think what the cards actually show is confirmation of what I've been saying in this video. And I'll just take you through what we've got here, because what I feel we've actually got is potential for a really good month ahead if we are able to confront our fears. Okay, so we're back to the cave energy. You know, that person might as well be sitting in the cave. They're completely in the dark. Look at all those red strands. They could almost be chains, couldn't they? They could almost be chains. And what they are not physical chains. They're thoughts, they're fears, middle of the night type stuff. And what helps to combat that is a change of perspective, thinking in a different way, being shown something that reveals another way to look at a type of situation or relationship. But equally, there also feels as though there's an energy of judgment in October. Judgment in terms of bringing something to a head, having to make a decision. Do I stay in the cave, trapped in my own fears and my own feelings of inability to move forward, to break free, to move more into the 5th dimensional frequency and live my life in that way? Do I do that? Do I make that decision? Do I make that decision and change? Or do I stay where I am? This is like self-entrapment. I was thinking the other day about saboteur energy as well. We all have the ability to be able to sabotage ourselves. And the other thing that I've noticed, I've particularly noticed it on this platform actually, but it's a good analogy, I think, for life in a more general way. You don't have to be a YouTuber. Is that I've noticed that some of the sabotage that's been coming in, people that have been trying to pull me down, and it's actually come in via very subtle ways, you know. Not a lot, but you know, some of the worst criticism recently has been sort of it's come in. They've said something like, "Oh, I've really loved you and I've followed you for years, but," and then you get the the onslaught. And it took me a while to realise what was going on, and I thought, oh, okay, this is just it's like a saboteur energy coming in a more subtle way. It's like butter you up a bit, but then go in for the kill. So there might be a bit of that that's going on in your life as well. So watch for that. That's quite a sort of almost like a trickster type energy. I've spotted that. I'm onto that one now. I can see that very clearly for what it is. But you might have a bit of that in your life, you know, in some other shape or form. It's like people that give you the backhanded compliment, or people that are very sort of passive aggressive. Okay, there's a bit of that that's going on. But what that's all about is keeping you chained. It's keeping you in the cave. Okay, it's keeping you there. But the thing is, I don't want to focus on that, because I really feel that this new dawn energy is everywhere to be seen. We've got the sun, you know, where's that card we've had? The sun, the sun, the sun. Illumination. 4 of Wands. Celebration. Party. Rejoicing. Happiness. Getting together with tribe and family and friends. Those people you want to be with. Those people that aren't trying to sort of stab you in the back or sabotage your efforts. You know, when you're trying to get maybe an idea off the ground and You know, it's like, oh, are you sure? You know, would that really work? You know, it's it's like when you go on a diet and you start to lose a bit of weight, and women are terrible for this. And you start to look a bit better, you know, a bit healthier, and then you'll get the female friend that comes round with the box of chocolates. You know, it's all that, it's that type of energy. Be with people that build you up, that don't bring you down or try to bring you down. And usually they're trying to bring you down anyway because it's their own wounding that they're displaying. We've got the Fool. Yeah, you know, we've got the Fool, the new start. The Queen of Cups. Happy, balanced, harmonious, feeling good. But let me tell you, she's only that, or he is that, because they've taken the box, they've taken the lid off the box. What's that thing? They've taken the can off the can of worms. But the thing is, it's this. It's about, it all ties into what I'm trying to say. It's like they've been brave enough to look into the shadows, but reach for the light. They've taken the lid off the box. They've broken free of their chains. They've thought, no, I'm not sitting here anymore in this. But to be able to do that, they've had to face this. They've had to face their fear. They've had to go for it. And then we've also got the Page of Wands. I think this is a lot of this youthful energy that's around at the moment. There's an uprising of youthful activity in our world, and that's to be applauded. And I think it's like they're helping to lift the vibration at the moment as well. So, youthful campaigners. 9 of Coins, 9 of Pentacles, plenty, harvest. It is harvest time coming up. Harvest Festival, we call it, in the UK. You know, time to give thanks. It's positive. It has the potential to be a very good month, but it has the potential to be a month where it really is your choice. I think this is our judgment. It's our decision. We have to decide. And I think, just put the camera up so I can see you. There you are. I think it's a precursor to everything that's coming in next year. It's almost like it's time to nail your colours to the mast. I'm feeling that with a lot of things as well. A lot of things that are going on in our world, which it's time to stand up and be counted for what it is that you believe in. And that will sometimes necessitate people falling away and not necessarily agreeing with you or wanting to be beside you anymore. That's fine. It's a gathering of the tribe, you know. Walk into this new beginning with people you want to be with. Okay. Right. Any other message then, Metatron, just for this video? And then we're going to close it. Let's just spray the flame. October. Oh, okay, yes. He's reminding me of something he showed me earlier today, which is, you know, when you go to a wedding and people make an archway with their hands. So, you know, you've got 2 columns of people and then they put their hands touch each other and then people walk underneath the arch. He was showing me that and I was thinking, what's that all about? But I think that's to do with celebration. But then he took it one stage further, and this is like country dancing. If you've ever done country dancing, there's that, I don't know what the dance is called, but there's a dance whereby everybody makes an arch. So you've got, you know, the men here, women here, or it doesn't matter, it's not about men and women, but you've got one person here, and they make an arch with their hands, and then the people sort of, a couple basically go under the arch, and then they go round, and then they meet up again. Do you know the dance that I'm talking about? It's to do with the fact that we're all trying to help each other through this portal, okay? And it should be done in a very joyful way. You know, you should break the chains joyfully. That's what I'm getting. Okay, I'm going to leave it here for this video because I want to get this up today. It's actually 10 minutes to 10. How perfect is that? Look at that, in case you don't believe me. Where's my clock? Can you see my clock? No, you can't see that, can you? Anyway, I don't even know why I need to prove it to anybody. It's 10 to 10, so I'm going to get it up. The other thing I'm going to do is I am going to do something special for 10:10. Those of you that are on my Facebook page, something happened last night, which is that I realised that the last video that I did for 10:10 last year, 2018, it's called The TARDIS Awaits. Okay, the Elvis video that I made in August of this year. He mentions, I start talking about the TARDIS. The TARDIS is a time machine based on a UK very successful television programme called Doctor Who. So we've got the TARDIS mentioned in August 2019 in my last video, and then I also mentioned it last 10:10. And what I got last night, and I put this on my page, it was so clear to me. A lot of the Heart Squad are time travellers, as we all are, but we've all forgotten we are. That's the whole point. They're reminding us. So I think, the TARDIS energy is landing on 10:10, and I'm going to bring through quite a lot of the Heart Squad all in one go. I might even try and do all 9 of them, although there will be a 10th, I know, and maybe they get 10 minutes each or something. And I'm going to have a timer or a bell, and it literally will be, right, you've had your 10 minutes, because otherwise I won't be able to do it. I'll be too tired. But I'm feeling that very strongly. And if you know Doctor Who, do you remember what happens when he or she regenerates? Right at the end of the programme, sun's coming through, right at the end of the series, when the Doctor's about to regenerate, they preview who the next one is. So I think the 9 Heart Squad members that we've already got, they're going to be previewing who the 10th is. And the thing is, you're not meant to know who that 10th is. And I'm not meant to know either. It's supposed to be a surprise on the 10th. So we can all say, oh, I think it's this, I think it's that. But it will be whoever it's meant to be. Because there's always an element of surprise when they reveal who the 10th Doctor is. But in this case, it'll be 10th member of the Heart Squad. So that feels fun, doesn't it? And I think that very much ties in with this 4 of Wands energy. It's like, come on, let's raise the vibration. Let's party a bit. Let's get out into the sun. Let's remember what life's all about, okay? Let's not be chained anymore to these dark, dingy walls. Let's get out and explore life. Much love, everybody. See you soon. Definitely back on the 10th, but I'll be back before then, I'm sure. Bye for now. Bye.